going to do side mount submissions. First one we're going to do comes from this default side mount position here with both arms under. There's not a lot you can do from here, but there is one crafty choke that I like to use on guys. It starts with putting your thumb in the lapel on the side here underneath the head. And then instead of driving and smashing him, I'm going to let off the pressure enough that he wants to turn in towards me. When he turns in towards me, I'm going to get up to my knees and I'm going to grab his shoulder. At this point now I'm going to release the grip a little bit on the collar. Okay? Come on over here, Shannon. So I'm going to release the grip. I was really deep. Now I'm going to loosen it up. Why do I do that? Because if I'm way back here on the back, behind the neck, it becomes a neck crank. If I release the grip a little bit, now I've got my wrist bone right on the carotid artery. Okay? And when I make my grip, you can see I can move his head up and down here from the grip. That's when you know when you're in the right position. Okay? After I release the grip, I'm going to continue to pull him towards me, and I'm going to take a step over his head. After I step over his head, I'm going to do three things. I'm going to grip by curling my hand, I'm going to straighten my arm, and I'm going to kick my leg back into his head. So here it is. Grip by curling, straighten my arm, and I'm going to kick this leg with a tap. Okay, so one more time. Here, get my thumb in, I release the pressure, let him come up, I get to my knees, I hold his shoulder. I let this grip slide down so that I'm underneath his head. Step over, curl, pull, calf curl. Okay? Another great submission from side mount starts here in this position. I've got an arm pummeled, I'm controlling his arm or shoulder or even head, and I'm going to look for an open opportunity to sub his neck. Okay, I'm looking for a neck choke. A lot of times though, the guy will be defending his neck, having his hands up around here because he knows something's coming. So you've got to be precise on how you execute this. What I'm going to do is take my hand here, and I'm going to come straight over his face and pull on his hands. Pulling his hands back a little bit from his neck and exposing it. Now I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to drive it straight down towards the mat. So I'm grabbing the lapel with my thumb and I'm pushing my knuckles all the way down until I hit the mat. Okay? Now from here I've got to be careful not to expose my elbow, because if I expose my elbow, my partner's going to defend. And I don't want him to defend this choke. Okay? So instead of having my elbow up, I'm going to turn and pull my elbow back. Here. So it's on top of his chest. And from here, Jeremy doesn't even feel threatened. Okay? Because I'm not across his face or across his neck. I'm going to pull it in. Okay? Now what I'm waiting for is an opportunity to capture Jeremy's chin with my forearm. The way to do that is to wait till he looks this way, if he's straight up and down, or if he looks that way. Okay? So I'm going to be here, and as soon as I feel an opportunity, I'm going to capture his chin with my forearm, turn my hips back towards the ground, and then start to lay all my weight down. The key to this choke working is a grip, a good grip. And a good grip starts with having your fingers over the top of the lapel. Don't grab onto the lapel, grab over the top. It makes a little cuff. So I'm going to have a great grip here. My elbow has to get almost to the ground. So if I'm too deep, my elbow can't get to the ground. You have to let it slide out until your elbow can almost get to the ground here. So I've captured his chin, I've got a good grip, and my elbow is almost to the ground. To finish this choke, I'm going to squeeze and curl. Okay? Squeeze and curl, which loads the forearm. I'm going to put all my weight down on my shoulder, and then I'm going to start to circle clockwise for the tap. Okay? One more time. So I'm here, he's defending his neck. I pull his hands out of the way, drive my thumb to the mat, get a grip. Pull my elbow back towards me so it doesn't threaten him. As soon as I feel an opportunity for his chin, I'm going to capture it. I'm going to let my grip slide so that I can drive my elbow to the ground. Put all my weight down on the shoulder, then the choke side, make a grip, a throttle grip curl here, and then start to circle. Okay? Okay, two more submissions I like to do from here is attack this near side arm. Okay? With your opponent defending real tightly like this, it makes it a little difficult. So how do we get our opponent to open up? We got to apply pressure by smashing him, right? We do that by getting up off of our hips a little bit and putting our head down. Okay, another way to get our opponent to open up a little bit is to start attacking. So once I start attacking with this hand, a lot of times they'll protect the neck by pushing my arm away. Or if I get close to the neck here and grab, one of the defenses is to push my arm off. Okay? But once he does that, he opens up opportunity for me to attack anytime they open their arm. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pummel, grab the wrist, step over. Okay? Once I've got the arm, I keep the arm. And how do I sub the arm with an arm lock? I've got to find the fulcrum, which is going to be the elbow. The elbow's back here, my leg is up here, so I'm going to have to slide down underneath the fulcrum. And this leg is going to slide down all the way to the bottom of the wrist. Okay? That's where I can apply most pressure. And then now to make this sub work, I'm going to raise this leg and I'm going to press this leg down. Down on this one, up on this one. But you see how his shoulder pops up off the ground. So a lot of times what you'll have to do is put pressure on this shoulder, but with your hand or just with your head. Okay? This leg goes up, this leg goes down, and you wait for the sub. Okay, one more time. So we're here, I attack, he presses, I pummel and grab, step over. Slide down to find the fulcrum, slide down to find the leverage point. This leg goes down, this leg goes up, and I'm going to keep his shoulder down on the ground. Here, the tap. What happens from here a lot of times is he'll turn his wrist upward. If he turns his wrist upward, now I no longer can get the submission to work. What am I going to do? I'm going to take the hand, I'm going to switch legs. Then I'm going to grab my ankle, figure four. So I locked it in. To make this work, I've got to lock the shoulder. To lock a shoulder from the key lock, I've got to drive the elbow downward. So I've got to scoop my hips down. In order for me to do this really well, I'm going to have to press on something. So I'm going to press on my opponent's chin. Here. You can't put your fingers in the face, but you can put your hand on the chin. And I'm going to slide down. Here, locking the shoulder. If he doesn't tap with just locking the shoulder, in order to submit him from here, I'm going to roll up on my knees. And this always works here. Okay, so one more time. I was here, he turns his thumb up, so I trap it, I lock it. I press on the chin, slide down to lock the elbow, roll up on my knee.